to the Palomino. These speeches tend to get a little bit emotional, so forgive me if I am. I think I speak both for the groom's parent and myself, but somehow or another we'll make it through. I think these speeches are somewhat like a golf shot. You really never know where they're going to go. And that's why the reason you don't tell anybody where you're aiming before you shoot. But anyway, here we are, and we'll continue on. I'd like to, first of all, congratulate Britta and Ross. They're a great couple, and I was trying to think of a word that would describe them. I don't think that either Carmel or Westfield has seen such a beautiful couple, and I think the word stunning comes to mind. So, congratulations again, and to coin a phrase, I guess there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight. I'd like to welcome Ross and Reese and Bonnie Melke, all the way from South Dakota. They're a wonderful family. We've grown to enjoy them. Those of you who got the invitations know that there's another reception in South Dakota in a couple weeks.
We'll be there.
Great. And so a lot of people from South Dakota weren't able to, didn't come here because they'd be going to the second reception. Now, Reese and Bonnie operate a farming operation in South Dakota. They specialize in corn and beans, and they favor John Deere equipment. Does that sound familiar for Indiana? I would invite anybody who has interest in any of those types of operations to stop by, introduce yourself, and compare notes about how things are going in South Dakota compared to Indiana. So, when you grow up in a house full of women, and when you live with that, I guess I grew up, when you live with a house full of women, they tell you pretty quickly if you've done something wrong. So when our older daughter's wedding, I was quick to be informed that I didn't talk long enough. I thought I was supposed to do an introduction, welcome, but I was supposed to talk about the kids a little bit more. So I've added a little bit to this one. I hope it doesn't take too awfully long. I actually made some notes, but the list got too long, so I'm just going to kind of wing it, and we'll see where it goes. Now note, Britt, of course our community, for those that are from South Dakota, our community is a small rural community. Britt graduated from a class, I think of about 40, and we were pretty pleased when we found out that Ross graduated from a class of about 20. I knew at that time that they were going to have some special things that they could share that only people that attend and graduate small rural schools can share. And so one of those things that they all participated in is sports. And I didn't talk to Britt about any of this, but few of the things that were at least a highlight to me. Now, when parents tell stories about their kids in sports, they get to exaggerate a little bit, lie, all kinds of different things. But Britt's sports story began, I think, with gymnastics. The first TikTok, she said her back broke. Next was swimming lessons. She wouldn't put her head underwater. But the next sport up came T-ball. She could generally stop at a ground ball, and the ball most of the time went in the direction that she was trying to throw it. So T-ball became a sport, and Diane and I as parents attended everything. So since she could catch and throw a little bit, they put her at shortstop. Not too bad. So the very first game, we're out there, and I'm watching her. She's at the shortstop position, somewhat like this. Turns her head and spits. Said, wow, that's pretty good. I said, Diane, did you see that? She said, no, what? I said, she just spit. I thought her mother was going to faint. Maybe she did. Because pretty soon she did it again. So after the game, I asked her, how did you learn how to spit like that? I said, I didn't learn how to spit like that until I was in high school at a baseball game. So she said, well, I wasn't really spitting. I had picked up pebbles. She put pebbles in her mouth. Spit and pebbles, so it looked good. So the baseball career continued. We then went to from T-ball to the intermediate leagues and to Little League. Now, Little League, she still could catch good and throw good. The ball went more where she wanted it to than with T-ball. And she was even pitching a couple times. And the big game in the Little League was when Britta's team played Cousin Drew's team. Britta was the pitcher, and Drew was the batter. It was his last year in the Little Leagues. It was Britta's first year. So this was a big deal. And I think she got 3 balls and 2 strikes, and he finally got a hit, so she didn't strike him out. But it was pretty exciting. And I believe Britta that year was the only kid on her team that hit the ball completely out of the park. One home run. But then Little League had to compete with basketball, and of course, we didn't have a girls softball team, so basketball won out, and they began basketball summer camps, and T-ball went by the wayside. Now, basketball was exciting. I think most of the people from northern Indiana probably had a chance to see her play, and we enjoyed it. Some of the memories, I think, were when the freshmen, when they had a conference game with River Forest, and River Forest had an all-state player on their team, and we had 5 freshmen, and we were all both undefeated. So it was a conference championship game. They ended the game with a tie score. So we go to overtime. And at the end of the overtime, they had a play designed where they threw the ball to Britta at midcourt. She turned and fired, and the darn thing went in. So we won that first championship, and it was pretty exciting. I think we won all the rest of the conference championships after that. That's her career.
Diane says the food's ready, Don.
I'm only halfway done. So anyway, we'll continue on through our passport. They had a great high school career, ending up, I think, their senior year in the final game of the regionals, and that was pretty exciting for us, further than we had gone before. Now, Ross also had experience in some sporting events. And I really don't know that much about his sporting events, but I know he played football. He was the end on their football team. And in his senior year, they went all the way to the state championship in football. So both of the kids are experienced in making runs in postseason play, which is really pretty exciting. Something you don't forget the rest of your life. In addition, Ross is a hunter. He likes to hunt. So at his house, in the very back corner of the garage, are heads of an elk and a deer. And what I'm hoping now that we have the for better or worse part done, that we can restore those heads to their proper place above the fireplace. So, since the food is about ready, I'll skip the part about work. I had a few stories about work too, but we'll just go right to the end. Figure out where the end is. Yeah. Page 73. Actually, at the end, I wanted to pay a little bit of recognition to Diane. She's the one that organized this event and pretty much controlled all of it. Fortunately, she had most all of the planning done before she had her eye problem, so the rest of it from February on was pretty much execution. But here's kind of what the program is. If there's something that happened today that you like, you stop by and tell her that. If there's something that you didn't like or didn't enjoy, that was all my doing. You don't need to come by and tell me. So I guess if I had another daughter, I wouldn't be criticized for not saying enough about the kids. I wouldn't want to say one thing about Ross, though. I said so much about Britta. Ross is an engineer, and I studied engineering a long time ago. So I have in my heart a special appreciation for those that go through that type of a curriculum. Because I believe that although the science changes, the math doesn't. And so I think he's going to have a great career. Now, Britta is a systems analyst, so I wouldn't mind being a spy or fly on the wall when they do their planning sessions with a project engineer and a systems analyst. So anyway, that really, that pretty much concludes what I had to say. There's a couple other things, but I've cut them out. And again, thank you for showing your appreciation to Britta and Ross and sharing this occasion with us. Thank you again.